Hi everyone, welcome to Elevate Mindset with another video. Hope you are enjoying. Like and subscribe for more videos. Thank you. There was a time you promised yourself something. Maybe you were a kid with big eyes and bigger dreams. Maybe you were older, broken, trying to rebuild. Somewhere along the way, life got loud, people got noisy, and you stopped hearing your own voice. But that promise didn't vanish. It's still there, waiting, quiet, patient. It's time to remember what you whispered to your future. Life will always test you, always stretch you, always challenge your faith in your own direction. But deep down, you know exactly what you wanted before the world told you to settle. You knew the life you were meant to live, not the one you were told to accept. That dream didn't go anywhere. It's right where you left it. Today is the day you look it in the eye again. Not with fear, not with hesitation, but with honesty. You owe yourself the truth. You owe yourself the courage to return to what you once believed in. You owe yourself the life you promised. Comfort feels safe, but it rarely feels alive. Every dream you have exists on the other side of the same door you've been afraid to open. You weren't born to live inside yesterday's limits. You weren't designed to repeat the same day and call it progress. Growth begins where comfort ends. Always. The life you promise yourself will require a version of you that fear doesn't recognize. It will demand late nights, early mornings, and a level of discipline bigger than your excuses. But the beautiful thing about courage is that it's not about being fearless. It's about moving forward even when the fear is loud. Every step toward your promised life is a step away from who you no longer wish to be. The edge of comfort isn't a barrier. It's an invitation. And the moment you step beyond it, you won't just see a new world. You'll see a new you. Every morning, the mirror tells a story, not the one people see, but the one you live with. It knows your fears, your failures, your private battles, your unrealized goals. But it also knows your strength. It knows the storms you survive silently. It knows the resilience you never gave yourself credit for. The reflection isn't asking for perfection. It's asking for honesty. Are you living as the person you once hoped you'd become? Or have you become a stranger to your own potential? The mirror doesn't lie, but it also doesn't judge. It simply shows you who you are today and who you still can be. If you want to see the life you promised yourself, start by becoming someone the reflection is proud of. Not flawless, not fearless, just committed, just consistent, just willing to rise again and again. Because the mirror only changes when you do. Excuses are heavy, heavier than any weight you'll ever lift. They steal your progress, rob your momentum, and bury your motivation under reasons that sound valid but keep you small. You don't need easier days, you need stronger habits. You don't need fewer challenges, you need greater commitment. Success doesn't come from wanting, it comes from working. Every rep, every hour, every disciplined choice builds a brick in the life you're trying to construct. When you see people succeed, you aren't seeing luck, you're seeing sacrifice. You're seeing someone who chose progress over excuses again and again. If you want the life you promise yourself, drop the excuses. Lighten your load. Replace I can't with I'm trying, and watch how the world responds. Nothing changes until you do. There comes a moment when you must leave behind the version of yourself that lived in hesitation. The you that doubted, the you that settled, the you that apologized for wanting more. Growth is a form of goodbye, and not everyone, not even the old you, gets to come along. The life you promise yourself is not accessible by the person you were. It requires a stronger back, a clearer mind, and a wider heart. It requires you to stop looking behind you for validation and start looking ahead for purpose. You weren't meant to walk backward. Sometimes walking away isn't about pride. It's about peace. It's about leveling up. It's about honoring your future self more than your past. Don't carry who you used to be into who you're becoming. There's a difference between being alone and being lonely. One is a weakness. The other is a weapon. Silence teaches you what noise hides. Solitude reveals who you really are when no one is watching, when no one is validating you, when no one is clapping. You don't build your promised life in rooms full of people. You build it in the quiet, in the discipline of your thoughts, in the strength of your faith. The person who can stand alone is the person who can lead many. The person who doesn't fear silence is the one who has finally learned to listen. The world will try to distract you from your promise. But when you learn to be alone without being lost, you become unstoppable. You find clarity. You find direction. You find yourself. The most important battles are the ones fought in private. Late nights, early mornings, days when motivation is nowhere to be found. No applause, no audience, just you and the dream you refuse to let die. That battle is sacred. What people see is a result. What they don't see is a resilience. They don't see the tears you wiped alone, the doubts you fought silently, the fears you pushed through when no one believed in you, not even yourself. But those unseen battles are what build greatness. The life you promise yourself is earned in the shadows long before it is celebrated in the light. Keep fighting. Keep showing up. What you do when no one sees is exactly what everyone will eventually notice. Your future self is waiting for you, stronger, wiser, more disciplined, more focused. Every choice you make is either moving you toward that person or away from them. The question is simple. Are you becoming who your future needs? The life you promise yourself cannot be reached by wishful thinking. It requires action. It requires intention. It requires you to stop negotiating with your goals and start committing to them. Your future self deserves more than half effort and half belief. Close the gap between who you are and who you're meant to be. One decision at a time. One day at a time. One promise kept at a time. You don't have to become that person overnight. You just have to start today. You can plan your steps, but sometimes the path ahead isn't for you to control. The life you promise yourself won't always unfold on your timeline, but it will unfold exactly how it's meant to. When you put God first, your worry becomes purpose, and your fear becomes faith. There will be delays that protect you, rejections that redirect you, and challenges that strengthen you for what's coming. Faith isn't about knowing what's next. It's about trusting who's guiding you. When you align your actions with your purpose and your purpose with God, the path becomes clear. Don't let impatience make you doubt what's already destined. Trust the process. Trust the timing. Trust the one who walks beside you. Where faith lives, fear cannot. This is your moment. Not tomorrow. Not someday. Now. The life you promise yourself isn't waiting to be found. It's waiting to be chosen. Every breath is an opportunity. Every step is a declaration. Every decision is a seed of the future you want. You remembered the promise. You've faced the fear. You've pushed through the doubt. Now it's time to walk boldly toward the life that once lived only in your imagination. This is your rise, your breakthrough, your beginning. See the life you promise yourself, and then go live it, with courage, with faith, with fire in your soul. Because the world doesn't change when you wish for it. It changes when you finally decide, this is my time.